It's hot here near Tucson, Arizona. This is the Pima Air and Space Museum.
And here I am in front of the O2 Alpha, an Cessna civilian plane adapted for military use, used as a forward observation platform in the Vietnam War.
Here is a RF-9J Cougar. On the left is an F-84 Thunderflash. This is the swept-wing version. It was also produced in a straight-wing version. The SR-71 Blackbird, the fastest plane ever in military service, is in the background. I watch Sea Sprite helicopters like this one fly almost daily during my days as a sailor on the USS Intrepid. My brother wants me to get a picture of an Army dive bomber. This is a very interesting aircraft, the F-107. This swept-wing fighter was never put in production. It appears that the pilot ejection would have been a problem, ejecting in front of the air intakes. On the right you see the nacelle of the SR-71. This is an OH-58 helicopter. It's based on the Bell Jet Ranger civilian helicopter. The de Havilland Vampire was the first single-engine British jet fighter plane, built in late 1944. And although the fuselage forward of the wing is plywood, it was the first single-engine jet to cross the Atlantic. The MiG-15 flown by the North Koreans was a formidable opponent for the American F-86 in the Korean conflict. The North American F-86 Sabrejet was one of the first operational jet fighters of the United States Air Force. Shark's teeth are always popular as nose art, whether on a helicopter or a jet fighter.
Behind me is the A-10 Warhog. Almost one half of the fuselage of this aircraft is taken up by the huge cannon.
This tank buster has almost been relieved of duty several times, but is still in action today. There are 328 aircraft in this museum, and almost 100 are in hangars. This is the 390th Museum and houses an immaculately restored B-17G Flying Fortress. The I'll Be Around was flown by the old fellow signing books under the nose. He flew it on a mission bombing Poland during the Second World War. I was a big fan of watching these planes in the television series 12 O'Clock High. The 50 caliber machine guns are sitting on the windowsills. This model also has a belly gun, tail gun, top gun, and nose guns. 12,677 B-17s were manufactured, and 4,036 were the G model. The B-17 is the bomber most often associated with bombing Europe in World War II, but the B-24 Liberator was more numerous. That's an A-26 Invader behind that B-24. One of the docents told me that pilots hated it. It seemed the engine nacelles obscured the pilot's vision. That Mustang could be the Army dive bomber I'm looking for, but it's not. The Mustang dive bombers all had greenhouse canopies, not bubble canopies. Oh, it's my brother again. One of his grandboys needs a photograph of a dive bomber for school. There's got to be an Army dive bomber here somewhere. The Curtiss P-40 was flown by the Flying Tigers, who fought the Japanese in the skies over China. There's something you don't see very often, a 5-bladed propeller. It's on a Spitfire Mark 14, built near the end of World War II. Can't help but think of Bad Bad Black Sheep when I see this F-4U Corsair. And the lesser-known plane of the Battle of Britain, the Hawk Hurricane. The P-63 King Cobra is an interesting aircraft with a rear-mounted Allison 1710 engine and a cannon firing through the propeller spinner. It has a tricycle landing gear and an entry door too, but it was a dismal failure for the United States Army Air Force. However, it was quite a success for the Russians. The B-29 Superfortress was built late in the war and delivered the knockout punch to Japan, the atomic bomb. It had many innovations, such as a pressurized cockpit and an area in the rear. To move from one pressurized area to another, you had to climb through a small tunnel. That P-51 Mustang is the Bad Angel. Click the card above for the rest of that story. Well, look at that. It's a dauntless dive bomber in olive drab. It's the Army dive bomber I've been looking for, the A-24 Banshee. And I thought the A-36 was the only Army dive bomber.
The museum will be closing in 5 minutes.